Good morning everybody, welcome back to my channel. Belinda here from Visualized NZ. It's Trashcraft Tuesday time, yay! So we're the 4th of April I think, and I have not got my April journal made yet. I know, I'm a bad journaler, I have not made it yet. So guess what we're doing today? We are making, well, at least the cover of my April journal. So I've got here something that isn't trash. It's just a bit of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. It's got a little split in it. That's okay. We can deal with that. I've got quite a bit of this cardstock that I was given, of this 12 by 12 cardstock. It's very light, it's very flexible, that I'm just not using. So I'm going to use that as my base. It is textured. And now we come to the trash element. So last week, one of my lovely subbies asked if I had any ideas on using barcodes and QR codes. And I responded basically, all I could think of was collage. And that's still all I can think of is collage. I guess you could include them in clusters, but that's kind of collage that's just not glued down to a surface yet, in my view anyway. But so I've spent basically a whole afternoon plus a little bit looking for all the barcodes and QR codes that I could find. Now I don't have heaps and heaps. I raided the recycling bin, I raided magazines, anywhere I could think of. It was like labels off tins and things. It was like, where's a barcode, where's a barcode? Now, I was anticipating that it would be completely black and white, so I was quite surprised when I found a reasonable number of ones that had colour in them. Blue seems to be the predominant colour other than black. Definitely black is more, more pronounced. There's way more. But there's the odd one that's like red or has a little bit of other colour on, like this yellow strip on these QR codes. But most of them are black, but I was surprised to find colour ones because I hadn't really taken much notice before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to collage them on this bit of scrapbook paper. Now I don't have enough to cover the whole thing, so I'm going to, I guess, place them here and there. Now the first thing I want to do is I do have a couple of sticker ones here that came off a courier label. Is that one of them? No. So this is definitely one of them. I can tell by the size of it. I feel like I picked up the other one just a moment ago. What have I done with it? This one. Yes, this one. So these two are stickers. So I'm going to start with those two, and they happen to be probably the biggest ones I've got. So courier sticker labels off of courier parcels is one of my tips for where to find really nice sized ones, and they come on sticker backing because the label itself has a sticker backing which is stuck onto the parcel, and then there's a sticker on top of that again which isn't peeled off, which is where these come from. So I do have a tear off strip along the top here, so I want to make sure I just put a bit of reinforcing over top of that so it doesn't fall off at any stage. I am going to be covering this in packing tape, so it's, it will never fall apart. Right, I've lost that one again. How can I keep, here it is. I've got to stick it down because I keep losing track of it. So I have no real plan on how I'm going to arrange these to make them look good. I mean, it may not look good. That's the reality. It may look like a pile of rubbish. Well, let's face it, it is rubbish. So no big deal really. So I'm just going to play, and perhaps you would like to play along with me. I'm just going to use glue stick, I think. There's the odd one that's a bit stiffer that I might use my tacky glue, but because I'm going over this with packing tape, I don't need them to stick down super well in the first instance. So I have no plan. Like I said, I'm just kind of going to go with it. and put down our red one. I think it might be the only red one I've got. So let's have a splash of red. And then I've got quite a few of these wee blue ones that came out of an old catalogue that I got from my husband's work. I've got a few of these wee blue ones, which is quite nice. And these ones here, these long ones, these come off of grocery receipts. Now, I'm not sure how long they're going to last for because a lot of them are on heat reactive paper. That's how they print them. So I don't know whether they're going to like lose their, like just turn black over time, especially if they're like sitting in the sun or something. But if they turn black, I don't care. It's my journal. I'm just playing, and it's a good way to do a Trash Craft Tuesday because I wasn't sure what I was going to do because I had such a tiring weekend, fun weekend, but very tiring. It was like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do because I don't have to think too hard about it. And I was only asked last week, so jump on while the iron's hot. And I need to do my journal cover, or my journal, actually make my journal. So I've got to start with the cover, get that. So I'm bringing you along for better or for worse. You're in for the ride. Strap in, my friends, and maybe craft along with me. So these thin ones that are on receipt paper, I'm going to wrap around the spine so that we get something on the back. And because it's on such thin paper, it's going to be no problem. In fact, I probably should be doing it flat so that when I do fold it, they won't go all funny. Right, so let's open it out. That's a good idea. I feel like I'm not with it. I'm still so tired, and that's okay. I had quite a good sleep last night, which was really lovely. Oh, it's so good when you get a good night's sleep. So yes, enjoyed a good sleep. So I think I will leave pops of the green here and there because I think that's quite nice as a background. Yeah, but still tired. It takes me so long to catch up. Oops, I'm sticking myself to it now. Maybe I need a new glue page. Maybe that's the problem. Fold this one in half. This one's off a magazine and it's a bit thicker, sort of like a light cardstock. We'll give it a go with the glue stick. So it only has to hold down long enough for me to get the packing tape on, so should be fine. Although that corner does not want to stick down. That's all good. I'm not gonna panic. I'm not even gonna worry. So, what have I got to tell you? Don't think I've got anything really to tell you apart from don't forget the giveaway that's going at the moment on my 500 subscriber video. You've got, I think, 5 more days in which to claim the freebie. So go watch the video. You need to watch the video. It's only a short one. It's a very short video to find out how to get that freebie. And then head along and grab it before the deal runs out. And then once it runs out, I will be putting it up for sale on Etsy. So if you want to have the pleasure of not paying for it, then make sure you go along and grab that within the next 5 or so days. 5 or less days, I would say. So I am just building and building and building. And this is a really nice thing to do when you're tired. You're just having a play. Putting them here and there. Yeah, I actually really like the pops of green in between. Gives it some more colour. Have I got another long one? Oh, and there's these weird ones. This is actually off an envelope that's just got no numbers and it's very long. So you can get them off of envelopes as well. Please excuse my croakiness there. I think that's just symptomatic of it being tired, and it's actually quite cold inside. I'm not sure what the weather's doing. I looked out one window and it's sunny, and out the other window it's all cloudy, and I thought, So I don't know whether it's going to be warm or cold or what. So I'm resisting lighting the fire, because if it turns out warm, you know, I don't want to cook it. Although I doubt I would cook. I might put that right in the middle of that space just for fun. There we go. And I even took some off of cardboard packaging, and I just peeled the backing off of it so they turn out very thin. Was this one? I believe that one might be one of them. This one was on cardboard packaging, so I've just peeled off the card off the back, so it makes it a lot thinner and a bit curly. You just got to be very careful, otherwise you end up tearing the whole thing. I may have done that once or twice. Yes, I may have. You know, not all of them make it to this stage. There are a few losses along the way. It's a good thing we work with trash, isn't it? Because it doesn't matter if you lose a few. Kind of want to sort of think about composition as I go, though, because I mean, I probably would have enough to completely cover this. But I don't want the back to be boring, so I am thinking about how I want to arrange them so it looks not silly. So it looks interesting and something I'll enjoy looking back at for years, you know, because I'll have these journals for years. And these ones with the QR code sticker stuck on top of the barcode, they're ones from the supermarket where the QR code is the clearance price or the sale price over top of the barcode, so that when they put it through the till, it doesn't charge you at the original price. Technology can be quite wonderful, can't it? Can be very helpful, can also be very annoying, but there are lots of benefits to modern technology. I remember when barcodes first came in, there was a lot of suspicion around them, and but now they're just like everyday things. You're just used to them. We're all used to them. So I was surprised when I was looking for barcodes, how many things I came across that didn't have one. I found that actually quite bizarre. Not products so much, but some publications that didn't have them. I guess it's where they've come from. They're not like professional edited publications so much. I think they're more like school ones or community ones. And then I might put some images here and there on top. I'm not sure yet. And I have grabbed out some glitter, and I'm going to add some glitter to this because I think, you know, it needs a bit of prettying up, doesn't it? I think it does anyway. Got to add the interest. So it will be a little bit of a mixed media type project. I may add some Posca mark making. I may add some fussy cut images. Maybe some stenciling. I'm not sure. I'm just like, this is all really I had in my mind, which I'm going to do this and then we'll see how it goes. Now I don't know how long it's going to take, and I feel like I'm talking about nothing. So maybe a cup of or a sip of my cup of coffee. change my glue page, and if I've got anything else to tell you about. Well, Easter is coming up this weekend. Obviously, you will know that. And I am out for 2 days this week, so I am out Thursday and Wednesday. So I should have put that the other way around. Wednesday and Thursday I am out, which means I need to pre-record my videos for those 2 days and for Good Friday. So I've got a lot of videos to do in a very short space of time, so a lot of this week's content is going to be pre-recorded. Just a little heads up, not that it matters. I prefer to do have the content there than miss it, than not do it. So I will be pre-recording. So that's what my day is going to entail, is recording videos for you guys and for my Patreon as well, which I try to post on a Thursday, so I need to record that ahead. So I think I've got like 5 videos I need to record between today and tomorrow. No, today. Oh gosh, I don't know. I've got a lot to do. So I needed this type of project where I could basically just sort of make it up as I go along, rather than having to think too much about it. Although I did spend like half a day looking for these barcodes and QR codes, so I guess that was a lot of prep work. Yes, it was a lot of prep work. So I very rarely just turn the camera on and go for it. There's actually usually a lot of stuff that happens in the background, and then a lot of stuff that happens after the fact, you know, editing the video, getting it ready for you guys to see. Oh, I need to remember not to, sorry, my language is completely flowing the coop. I need to remember to put the month on the front cover. That's what I was trying to say. Gosh, who knew that would be so difficult to say? Yep, that's just me when I get tired. Hard to get my words out. So yes, we've got nothing in particular planned for this coming weekend. We will probably be visiting my in-laws. We were going to do that last weekend, but my in-laws both ended up with COVID, so we definitely weren't going to go and put ourselves in the firing line for that. So hopefully they'll be all clear and we can visit them this weekend over Easter, because it was my mother-in-law's birthday last week, in the midst of having COVID. So we haven't seen her for her birthday yet, so we need to make time to do that, just as long as they are all clear, which they should be. Should be well and truly clear by then. May not still be feeling 100%, but should be clear of any contagious stage, hopefully. So yeah, that's about as much of a plan as we have, which I quite like, because we had a busy weekend, the weekend just gone, so, you know, having a relatively quiet weekend coming up is nice. I do enjoy the different sizes of things too. You get some big ones and some little ones, and then some teeny ones. Just adds to the interest. And I like the graphic nature of all these lines and patterns and things. It's very cute. So if you didn't want to do a journal cover, you could totally do this thing. You could do a masterboard, turn it into journal cards or tags or pockets or whatever. So here's a teeny weeny QR code. I'm going to make sure I get a teeny weeny one on. I may not even use all I've got here, surprisingly. I thought I was like going to be struggling with what to do. tiny one there on the front. Oops, totally sticking to everything. I've got so much glue on my fingers. Yuck. So yes, I may. What a problem to have, eh? That I've actually got more than I need. Because I knew I wouldn't have enough to do the whole thing, so I wasn't planning on doing the whole thing. So I hope you're all having a fabulous week so far. Whatever you're getting up to, whatever it holds for you. I have no idea what the weather is like for this week. I just read something last night on Facebook that it's supposed to be really unsettled weather. I was like, oh great. So we're going to be hot, cold, but that's what it sounds like to me. It's like I wish it would just choose one thing and do it so we can get used to it. Mind you, I was saying same thing during summer, and it was true. We didn't have much of a summer. We'd have the odd hot day, and then it would be comparatively cold. So yes, so Wednesday I'm out because I've got my digital marketing course, so it's the in-person session. It's the second to last one. A bit sad that it's coming to an end. I've got just this month left, but I'm also quite happy it's coming to an end, so I can kind of like concentrate on what I'm doing at home and have that day for working on my business in other ways, like content creation. And then on Thursday I am going to spend the day at hubby's work, and that's the day that they're pouring the concrete for our new footpath. So the guys are really good. They spoke to us at the weekend when we were heading out. They asked if they could talk to us, and they're concerned about me getting back into the property because I'm on a crutch. And so they're going to, on the Thursday, they're going to start with the pouring of our driveway, so that by the time we get home, it'll be, I'll be able to walk on it, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to get back on the property. Yeah, so that was really kind of them, because it means that they've got to start halfway down the street instead of the end of the street, which is what they would normally do. I'm not going to use that one because it's a bit wrinkly, so I'm just going to toss that one. Toss it. Right, there's another teeny weeny QR code. So yeah, that was very thoughtful of them, and they did ask if they could, if we'd consider them doing up into our driveway, because it's quite a steep little rise and then it flattens out, and they said it would make sense and it would work better for them if they did up to the point where it flattens out, but we would have to pay for it. So we says, well, how much is it? And he estimated just off the top of his head it would probably be around $400 or $500. We don't have that money, so they were going to go back to the local council and see if the council would do it. I don't think they will, but it was nice of them to think about that and to offer it. And that area of our driveway does need doing, because we've got a wider car now, and it's very easy to drive off the concrete. It's just 2 lines of concrete, then grass in the middle and either side. So there's a big rut on one side where keep driving off the concrete, and the bit where it slopes is all cracked and broken and everything. So it does need doing, but we just do not have that amount of money to get that done. So we'll see. We'll see whether anything comes from that, whether the council decides to just go for it or what have you. I doubt it. Nobody's got spare money these days, including local government. The cost of living is quite quite high, isn't it? I don't know if you guys finding it an issue, but on one income, my husband and I, we're just on one income, we do find things are starting to put some pressure on here and there. I mean, to be honest, we've always had that financial pressure, but just even more so now when everything is so expensive. Just food itself is expensive, and shortages of certain products, and it'll calm down at some point. We'll get used to it. We'll all adjust to the price increases, and it will become normal. That's how it always happens. There's a period where you struggle and you resent the cost of everything, and then it just becomes normal, and you kind of have this period where it's okay, you've adjusted, you've worked out how you can do everything, and then something else, you know, happens, prices go up again, and then you sort of start that whole process all over. Isn't it fun being alive? You know, I sound like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm actually truthful. It is fun to be alive. Like, there's lots of positives in this life, that's for sure. Maybe I'll put that one right in the middle there. I'm actually looking like I might end up with the majority of this filled, which is funny. It's not what I was intending at all. And this one's bugging me because it won't stick down, and it will once it's got tape over, but the curl's bugging me. Let's put a little bit of tacky glue in under there. Oops. And I think it's still struggling because it's more of a cardstock, so it's got a curl on it. Let's hold it there for a few seconds, let the glue do its thing. Right, that's better. Yes. It's not bugging me half as much now. So yeah, so there's that going on. And it means over all of Easter we cannot use our driveway while the concrete hardens, so we can't drive over it, and same with the whole street, like they're doing the whole length of our street. So just our side at the moment, and then once they've poured our side, then they'll start digging out the opposite side. Just otherwise, we've got a very narrow road. It's a cul-de-sac, and if we had both sides done at once, with everyone having to park out on the street, you wouldn't actually get a car in or out because there'd be no room to move. So they're having to do it in stages, just for practicality reasons. But it does also mean that if anybody's coming visiting for Easter, that it's going to put extra pressure on the road as well, in terms of where people park and movements and things. So could be interesting. Okay, need to put some up here. We've got this fun, this is a receipt one as well. I quite like the ones without numbers. I like the ones with numbers, but the ones without numbers, you get less of them, and they're kind of fun. Actually, do I want to put it? I'm going to put it up and down, just for something different. I hadn't thought about putting them sideways. Let's do it. And this one's not wanting to stick down either, because it's more of a plastic coated paper from some packaging. This one's the same, it's more plasticky. I might put another one sideways, why not? I'm annoyed now that I didn't think of doing that earlier, because then I would have mixed it up a bit more. Never mind, never too late. And you could also like layer these up. You could pop them, you know, overlap them and fill the gaps if you wanted to, and that's quite cool too. Even just doing those few, I quite like that, but I'm not going to do it on this. I'll do that some other time, just to vary it up. Where do I want to put this wee one? Maybe at the top there. And I've got this hole here too from the top of the paper, and do I want to put something over that? Maybe what I want to do is wrap one around so it goes front and back, just so it covers the hole on both sides. Yeah, and then wrap it around. So just got that one little one on the inside. Let's go with this other blue one, and then it looks like I've got another tiny wee QR code there. I might put that on as well. Oh, that one's wanting to pop up. And I'm sure I saw a tiny one hiding. Oh, not too tiny, but small. Yeah, those plasticky ones don't want to stick down with the glue stick so much. Right, let's have an assessment. I think that is enough. I think it's actually quite interesting. I don't know what you guys think, or whether you think it's just a complete mess. I actually think it's quite interesting. So I would like some sort of decorative focal image. I think that would be really nice. And I'm thinking maybe something fun from this little fun kindergarten book. There's lots of cool things. I'm looking for a larger image. Teddy bear bouncing on the bed. I'm thinking April. April here's autumn. It's cool. That's quite cute. Like the elephant with the mail bag. That's a possibility. Definitely not the hot on the sun, although could the igloo might be appropriate. It's very Australian. It must be an Australian book. No, they're all a bit too warm looking, and it's definitely not warm. That's sweet. Well, this one might work. This umbrella and a bit of rain there. I'm thinking maybe if I just take one of them and leave. No, I definitely don't want the picture on the other side of that. That's not me at all. So I'm quite happy to lose it. Eight-legged freak is not my style. Okay, so cut that out and let's go with this one. I might keep that. It's just got the little bit of illustration of rope there. So I'm not sure how I'm going to cut this out since I've done that zigzaggy. I'm just going to start by cutting it out straight and then we'll see. And I also don't want to cover up all of this here, so let's do a fussy cut. A rough fussy cut. I'm not going to go all the way in, I don't think. I may change my mind. I think my chair back's, I'm just going to need to put my chair back up. Might hold me closer to the camera. I was starting to pull back a bit and I thought, you wait and see what I'm doing. So I'm thinking I'll leave it straight on one side and then have the interesting edge on the other. Will be my answer to the zigzaggy cut I had to make. Got to leave the flowers in the bottom because that's what the rabbit's bending over to look at. So I think this is quite a cute autumn image. Just going to loosely cut around the flowers. And chop that one off entirely, that leaf. Oh, it means I'll cover over my red QR code. Maybe I want to give this side a bit of a shape as well. Might cut that end leaf off. I want to keep the rain though. Right. The rain kind of makes the story, makes sense of the story. I guess it doesn't matter if I cover over my red QR code, the one and only QR code that's in red. Do I want the stones? I guess I don't need the stones, do I? They can be eliminated from the story. Oops. Chopped off a bit of the hat. Never mind. I really am just not being very careful about where I'm cutting. Right. Oh, that's better. See, we get that. Still get that red QR code popping out there. And around a little bit of a river. And maybe I don't need the actual sky. I'll just trim it down to the hills and the trees. If you're working with an image and it's not working, just cut it back to where you want to. You don't need to have the whole thing. You can just make it work. And it doesn't need to be perfect, it's only my journal. But I want it to look nice. Oh, that's cute. Yep. Okay, let's glue it down. And I've got the base of it sitting just along the bottom line of this one and the bottom of the lines on this one. So it's like it's grounded a little bit, not entirely, but just got a little bit of grounding there. About there. So we've still got some of that blue one, some of our red one, some of the sticker one in behind there. Cool. Happy with that. I think that looks good. Okay, I do need my April on there. Maybe I'll just write on a label for this one. Ow. Ow, that hurt. Or do I want stickers? Maybe I'll put stickers on. There's quite a number of letters that are completely running out in this. But I think I've still got a couple of sheets that are untouched, so hopefully I don't run out of room because I did not check whether I'd fit everything in. there's an R. These ones printed incorrectly, but I think it's quite a cute look. Just go back. I like to go back and get the ones from earlier in rather than grabbing the one off the same, so that eventually I can rip the whole sheet out because it's all used up. Right, and L. April showers. And I probably do need a 2023, don't I? Okay. Got these, no, I can't do that because there's only 1, 2 left. Okay, not those ones. What about these ones? Totally different style. That's okay. I use up a lot of 2s. So let's go. I'm going to put it down in this bottom space. Sorry, I'm probably holding that so you can't even see what I'm doing. So I'm going to separate it from the April because it's a completely different style of sticker. Good thing we've got past 2022. I used 3 2s and 3. Yeah, that looks quite cute. Okay, let's look at some Posca. What colours would we want? We could do some blue, maybe some yellow. Got some metallic blue, might be nice. Let's see, let's try that. We don't want to go too plastery with all the colours, which I might be tempted to do. Okay, I better hurry up because we're running out of time. I'm going to do wee spirals just because I feel like it. Oh, I like this metallic blue. Apart from swatching it, I haven't actually used it yet because I've not had it very long. It's very pretty. And up here. Oops, I've already smudged that one. That's all right. Not the end of the world. Okay, let's do some of this blue. This one, so this one is, I think, just metallic blue. Yep, metallic blue it's called. This one is sky blue. I'm just going to do some, I think this one sort of works well for giving that rain. Because some of these are shiny, that's not drying as quickly, so I'm just making sure I'm not putting my hand over any more to smudge them. Yeah, turn it upside down, might avoid putting my hand in them. Very much channeling my friend Lydia here. And her wonderful style. It's a compliment, isn't it? It's not copying, it's just a compliment that somebody, well, it is copying, but you know, it's still a compliment. Somebody enjoys your style and it's so much they want to do something similar. Not sure that I will use the yellow now. I think that is fine. It's fine, maybe up in this top where I haven't put much else up here, so maybe I'll do a bit more up here. Here we go. Gonna call that good. Okay. Right, so that's obviously not dry yet, but I have 2 lots of glitter here, and I've gone for older chunky glitter. So it's a chunkier than the fine stuff that I've got, because I'm finding the fine stuff gets a bit lost when put in on covers. So I thought I'd try this slightly chunkier glitter and see whether I like this. So whether I like it or not, I'll find out after it's like completely done. So this purple, there's not much of it, and it's not completely purple. There are other colours in amongst it. Let's put some of that on. And then some of the gold. Can't get the lid on. I don't want to put it down without the lid on because I'll probably knock it and get it everywhere. Right. And then this. Oops. I don't want to completely cover over my April there. Okay, there we go. Now for the tricky part, putting the packing tape on. Right, I think I will be more comfortable working across the way, so I'm going to turn my mats around like so. Excuse me while I have a sip of my coffee. Yep, that's cold. There. Cold coffee. Not the most delicious thing in the world, I have to say. Okay. Oops. Sorry about the tape noise. There's not really much I can do about that. Oops, there we go with the wrinkles. I still haven't got this technique down pat of how to put it on to minimize the wrinkles. Oops, sorry, that is incredibly loud. I found it loud, so I imagine you guys find it quite loud too. Just tried it then to do it away from the camera a bit more, so it wasn't quite so loud. It's all crunchy underneath. It's quite fun. And then I'll get so far and oops, don't want it stuck down yet. Then I'll turn it around to do the other end. Not putting my tape on at all straight. But you can't even tell once it's all down unless you minutely examine it. It all sort of just blends in together. that worked better. Maybe I'm getting into a rhythm. Right, I need to switch it round so I can work from the other end instead of reaching all the way up. It's hard to see where that last edge of the tape is sometimes. Oops, don't lay your arm in it because you're going to get glitter everywhere, silly Billy. Trying to hold it down in place with my arm. Not a bright idea. Quite often my hubby comes home and says, "You've got glitter on your face." And sometimes I'm like, "But I haven't used glitter today." It's one of those things, isn't it? It just kind of, you know, days after you have used it, it just turns up in places. And I don't know how it ends up on one's face, but it does. I saw one of my cousins last week at lunch, and she had glitter on her face. Just one little tiny speck of glitter on her face. I thought that was quite cute. Right, now put my tape bit on so I don't have to hunt for the end of the tape next time I do something. Right, so it's all completely covered in packing tape. Smoothing out. So now I'm going to flip it over, and it's all full of wrinkles, which I don't mind, not for my own journal. I'm just going to trim off these corners. Oh, my scissors are going to totally need cleaning after this. Oops. So I'm not even wanting to cut properly at the moment because they're already gummy. I like to wrap my tape around, just feel it gives it a nice edge. Yeah, I've got glitter all over my desk. That would have probably happened when I got my sleeve in it. Right, so just, oops, still got tape on my scissors. So I'm just trimming the corners. I don't even know if you could see that when I did it, those first two corners. I have a feeling I might not have been on camera. My apologies if that's the case. But you can watch me do these two corners. There we go. And then just folding the tape around. And I haven't done it even, like the tops and bottoms are all sorts of lengths. And it's all good. It's got little bits of glitter stuck on it as well, which is actually kind of nice. Bringing some of that outside decoration on to the inside. So all I need to do now is find some papers and sew them in, and my journal will be ready to rock and roll. So I won't be doing that on camera because we have spent quite a bit of time already just doing this. So you will see it at some point. I'm sure it will show up in a video when it's in use, or when it's all finished and ready for a flip through of after April. So just easing down those creases so there's not big air bubbles. And there, now which is the front? There's the front, folded up now. And there is my April journal cover, and I actually have to say I love how it turned out. I think that's actually really fun. I do definitely like the chunky glitter better for things like this. I think it has, yeah, it just, you get the texture, but you get to see it. Whereas the fine glitter, you know there's something there because of the texture, but you can't really properly see it. So I definitely recommend the chunkier glitter for things like this. There we go. It's got heaps and heaps of bubbles. It's all good. I actually love it. I'm going to enjoy working in this for April, and I need to get going because I've got days I need to record already of fun things. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this idea with using the QR codes and the barcodes. Just something fun with something trashy. Have you got a pile of them? Or maybe you might start a pile now that you've got some ideas. So that's it. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget about the giveaway that's currently running. Go ahead, watch the 500 subby giveaway video that was on last week, because you've only got until this weekend, I think Friday, to claim that freebie before it's going to be taken down. So do hop along, grab that digital kit printable if you're interested. Okay guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.